Hi, spats! Gonna be making some. Let me show you. Before I get stuck in this, and if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen me use this stuff before, or you want a quick refresher, stuff I'm gonna be using is a polyurethane foam board, a closed cell polyurethane foam board. This stuff right here. Easy to work with, you can shape it pretty easily. You can sand it very, very easily. I use a 120 grit. Really easy. And what I usually do is I usually use a aluminium foil tape, go straight over this. What I'm going to do in this instance is, before I do that, is put fiberglass resin straight onto the board. What that does is give it like a little crust, stops it from being dusty, helps tape adhere to it. So yeah, and this stuff is easy to cut as well. Just use, you know, a Stanley blade, whatever, cuts super easy, sands super easy. Use a hot glue gun. Simple, straightforward. So let's get into it. So it's been pretty awkward doing this, but you can see the modelling foam we've got here, the polyurethane foam. I've gone through 3 kind of iterations, different shapes. It's difficult to work on this and get a good angle. I've got 2 ideas in mind. Let me show you the first one. Alright, that's glued on. From here, it's looking good. Actually, really happy with that. I think that's going to work. Well, I think it works anyway. Let me try and get a better angle. Yeah, I think. So I'm happy with that. Pretty sure I'm happy with that. What I'll do is, see, what I'm thinking is, yeah, keeping this bottom bit here, and then maybe adding a bit that fills in here, and then it obviously follows this line, and then like curves into that. But I don't know if that's going to look just too heavy and just too full on. Let's air it out and see what it looks like. Camera's right up against the wall, I can't see a thing. I kind of like that. I think I do like it. Everything looks pretty straight, and obviously, yeah, it flows with the lines there. Right, interesting. Right, I need to put the other side on. I've cut the other side out, obviously. The other side is there. That's cut out, ready to go. It's all marked up on the other side as well, ready to go. And then what I'm going to do, because I've been thinking about it and looking at this, it's missing something. So that swage line there, I'm going to add that onto that. I put up a picture of this on Instagram yesterday. I don't know when this video is going to go out, but if you've seen my Instagram, or actually if you're not following my Instagram, follow it. There, here, anywhere. I put up the a picture of this. Most people liked it, and a few people said about it continuing up to here. Now, I didn't like the idea of doing that yesterday because at the time I thought it would just be one giant slab of a piece and it would look a bit strange without any detail in it. But obviously I put that swage line detail in it now, so it breaks it up. So what I've done is I've made this. I'm not going to sit on the hot glue gun or burn myself again. So I've made this, I've made two obviously. This is just a rough shape, but I need to glue that down. I don't know what it looks like, it's hard to tell. Like that. Right, I'll glue it on and see what it looks like. I think people of the internet were right. Now looking at that, I think it looks really good. That's obviously just, you know, stuck on. That needs to, that's not stuck on properly. What I might do is make that radius not as extreme, make it tighter. I think that'll be better. It's a bit too swoopy at the moment. I think it needs to be, yeah, it needs to be a tighter shape. So yeah, god damn it. Right, let's lower it and see what it looks like. I really like both. Yeah, that looks really cool. That looks really cool. More work for me. Update, so alright, you can see the over fender is off, just so I could get some better angles on that. I've put a new piece in there and I've got, you know, all the curves nice. The transition from there to there is pretty close. I didn't want to hammer it too much because I don't want to dig into that. So what I'm going to do now is go over it with some resin. Now usually I go straight over this with the aluminium foil tape. I'm not going to do that now. What I'm going to do is go over it with a layer of resin. What that does is just put a crust on this. It doesn't eat into it because of the material. It's compatible with the resin that I'm using. So it will give it a crust rather than this dusty surface that tape has a hard time sticking to. So as I mentioned earlier at the start of the video, yeah, tape sticking to this isn't easy, and obviously I want to make sure I get all the shapes correct. So I'm going to put a layer of resin over this and that'll give it that kind of crust. It will still be soft softish, but it'll be harder than it is right now. So it'll give it a little crust and it'll give it a better surface and a more even surface for the tape to adhere to, a more stable surface. So we'll do that. Once that's dried, I'll go over it with a aluminium foil tape. Now once that's done, I'll go over it with a layer of fiberglass tissue, maybe 2 or 3 layers of fiberglass tissue, just to make sure I get into all the intricacies and details. It's formed nicely. It's a lot easier and it's a lot more detailed. It'll give it that kind of first initial layer. Then I'll go over it probably with 2 layers of regular fiberglass, probably like a 230 chop strand mat, and then maybe another layer of the fiberglass tissue, and obviously just give it a quick skim, just to make sure everything's flat, just to make sure there's transitions obviously nice and even. Put it off this, put it on, fit it, make sure it's good. It should be. if not, it might just need a little tweak here and there, but I'll show you a quick section of putting the resin on. I'm not going to do the whole lot on the video, obviously, because it's boring, so I'll just show you what it's like on this one section down here. I always panic when I do fiberglassing for some reason. I don't know why, because it's so straightforward and easy, but always just end up kind of like, yeah, hammering through it as quickly as I can when I really shouldn't. But it turns out fine, and it's turned out fine. So it's dry. This has got a nice crust on it. That's a solid. That's 2 layers of the tissue and 2 layers of glass. So let's pull it off. As you just saw, yeah, that's all cut out, fits on nicely. I've just spent some time making sure that swage line is back and nice and sharp, because it lost a bit of definition. So next task is the underneath. So it's just kind of a void. What I want to do is put in some foam going all the way down to that point there, fill it in, make it look good. Should be pretty easy. Let's go. Obviously, no one's going to see it, but everything's kind of, yeah, looking good from the outside, but I wanted the underneath to look good, even though no one's ever going to see this. Yeah, we've got, if you can see it, you can see it just tapers in really nicely now. What I'm going to do is run a skim of fiberglass filler on that foam, and then fiberglass the inside, and do a few little bits of regular filler there. I can feel the transition's not perfect in this point, so I'm going to prime it anyway, just so, and then I can guide coat it and actually see exactly what's going on. So what's left to do with this before I prime it is I will add another skim of filler on there and block it when it's in position on the car like this, and prime it. But for now, I think I'll close this episode off, just because we've been going on for a really long time. So next episode will be like priming it and making sure it's looking right, and then after that painting it, and probably painting the skirts at the same time as that. So pretty exciting stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stick around for the second episode. Probably be a shorter episode, or hopefully it will be. So I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you soon.
Subscribe, you fools.